In this video, we're going to look at how to quote-unquote solve an inequality, and then we want to graph whatever the solution set is on a number line. And the inequality we're going to be looking at is negative 5x is less than or equal to 30. So just like when we're trying to solve an equation, when we're working with an inequality like this, and we want to know the solution set, we always want to get the x on one side of the inequality sign completely by itself. So right now we have 5 multiplied by x on the left-hand side. So the easiest thing to do would be to divide both sides, or both regions of this inequality, by negative 5. Now the main thing to remember when you're dealing with inequalities is if you ever multiply or divide by a negative number, both sides of the inequality, then you have to switch the inequality. So in other words, since we divided by negative 5, when we rewrite this, we need to write x is, instead of less than or equal to, it's going to be bigger than or equal to, and then 30 divided by negative 5 is going to give us negative 6. And so that's really important. That's really the only thing you kind of have to keep in your mind, the only extra rule when you're dealing with inequalities like this, but it is very important, and you only have to do it if you multiply or divide by a negative number. So now that we have x by itself, in this case on the left-hand side of the inequality, let's go ahead and interpret our answer. So we want all of the numbers x that are bigger than or equal to negative 6. So we're going to start at negative 6. We can go ahead and write this in as an interval in interval notation. The answer would be everything from negative 6. And we want all the numbers bigger than negative 6. So those are going to be numbers going to the right on a number line, so everything all the way to positive infinity. Now infinity is always going to have a parenthesis around it. In this case, our negative 6 is going to have a bracket. And the reason for that is we have this the greater than or equal to. So anytime you have that equal to bar, that's going to correspond with a bracket instead of a parenthesis. So now that's our answer in interval notation. So let's go ahead and let's write that answer down, or draw the answer on the number line. And so you see we just have a generic number line separated by 0, or separated with 0. And we just want to mark a negative 6 on here. If you want to count off 6 tick marks, that's fine. If you just want to kind of guesstimate, that's okay too. So we're going to let that be negative 6. And again, we want all the numbers that are bigger than or equal to negative 6. So on this number line at negative 6, we're either going to shade in a little bracket, again because of the greater than or equal to, or sometimes you may see a solid dot. Solid dot and an open dot would be kind of the counterpart to a bracket or a little parenthesis. Answers can come in both flavors. And we want to shade all the numbers that are bigger than, so all the numbers from negative 6 all the way toward positive infinity. So we're going to shade everything to the right, because on a number line, when you're talking about being greater than, you're talking about what is to the right. We're also going to shade this little arrow also, just to indicate that it keeps going. So there we go. Our answer in interval notation is negative 6 to infinity, and now you can see the graph, or what negative 6 to infinity looks like on a graph.